Hey everybody. Well, I was going through my old Landfill collection box, and as always happens, I get transported back in time. This time, for whatever reason, when I was flicking through a couple books, I thought of something that happened. Would have been the summer of 1975. My brother and I had been collecting for about 2 years, so we had amassed a pretty good, little pile of books. Back then, we used to collect together, so we didn't really differentiate that my books, his books. And one day in particular, I remember it was summertime. We were outside reading. We had like a sandbox and a tree, a big, I think it was a maple tree because it was very shady underneath. And we were reading comic books underneath there all day, had our transistor radio out, listening to that, just having a good time. You play as a kid, ride bikes, you end up going in and eating dinner. Somewhere along the line, between dinner, bath time, and watching TV, we forgot we left our box of comic books outside. So around 9 o'clock at night, we usually go to bed. You'd read a few comics before you go to sleep, and my brother and I realized that we had left our comic books outside. And I remember we called my grandma because she lived next door and said, "Can you put your floodlights on?" And we put ours on, and I just remember my brother and I going out there together and steeling ourselves for the dark unknown out there. Just going out there, and there's those big creepy orb weaver spiders. We live by the water, so they were all over the place. It just was kind of a fun time. So we ended up making our way out there, and I remember we just slowly walked out there with a flashlight, going back and forth. I don't know what we thought was going to get us, between the 100 yards between our house and the sandbox, or not even, it was probably 50 yards, but it seemed like it was a mile to little kids. I was probably like 6 years old, 6, 7 years old. So, but here's a couple of the ones that I rescued. Marvel Premiere, or Adventure into Fear, I'm sorry, with the Morbius cover on it. It's awesome. Great cover. Mr. Miracle. It's just funny to me, these are the books we were reading at the time, and these are all very well loved. Power Man, number 22. I remember this one. I looked at this one an awful lot. I just read it too again, just to remember. Just always write my name on the cover of things. I guess so that tells you signature-wise. I guess there's not that bad a ink bleed, because that was almost 40 years ago, or it's more than 40 years ago, and that hasn't bled. This is one of my all-time favorites, and this is where I really got into Annalise, the character. This is Fantastic Four 140. I never had the cover to this. This is one of the ones that I got for a nickel at the nickel sale at Empire Comics. But I have since got the cover, but I love this story. You kind of feel bad for him in a way. But anyway, if you haven't read it, I don't want to spoil it for you. And then last but not least, of course, Kazar, number 6. So this was the follow-up to 5 that I got, and this is my original copy. And I love looking at these. I can pick these up, just give them a quick smell, and this particular group, when I was going through the box, I just instantly got transported back there. So I guess this is a mini paper time machine, but that's all I got for you today. Happy Tuesday. Don't forget to eat tacos.